I think we should do just a quick look ahead too, just for fun. Just a quick thoughts for national championship.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think in terms of styles and fights, it's a rough matchup for Notre Dame. Now you don't want to doubt Notre Dame because a lot of people have been down Notre Dame. They continue to show you, no, we're way better than you think we are. Maybe because we don't have the name recognition of like a Sawyer Downs or somebody, or like a Jeremiah Smith. But
My biggest worry, and I brought it up earlier, why did Texas have success tonight on defense? Because they could play a light box and they can stop the run. We saw
yeah, I
Penn
was going to say,
State. We saw Penn State run for over 200 yards against Notre Dame yesterday. Guess what? Ohio State can run it. Maybe not to the same extent that Penn State can, but they can run it. Two better running backs, maybe not as good of an offensive line, but they can run it and force Ohio State to have to put a guy in the box. And if you go single high coverage and you go man to man against, Smith and Ibuka and Tate, and the way Will Howard has played this postseason, they're going to torch you. So that's my biggest
what I'm saying.
worry.
So you don't think Notre Dame's good enough up front to be able to do it? Texas?
I mean, did you see Penn State move them the entire game yesterday? It's just Penn State doesn't have receivers. Not one receiver caught a pass. Like they did not have a worrying hell that a Penn State receiver was going to win one-on-one. It was, we have to commit to the run, which still didn't work. We have to commit to trying to slow down Warren and do enough to make it close.
It's hard to argue. I mean, it's hard to argue with that analysis, even though maybe
Ohio State's defense is better than Penn State's defense.
Yeah, I mean, that's again, I don't know, Abdul Carter's incredible, but that's the other part about Notre Dame. They're just so injured. Will Knapp be able to play? Will you have your starting left tackle, or is he going to be another one who's not going to be able to play in this game? How long do they have? How many days do they have to try to get healthy?
To the following Monday. So
at least days? Notre Dame gets an extra day in this case for whatever that's worth.
Yep.
It's okay. Here's what I'll say. Let's say the defenses of Notre Dame and Ohio State are a wash.
Yeah.
Let's say the running game is.
I would not say it's a wash. I think Ohio State's the better defense, not by much.
Well, I'm just proving that most everywhere it is close, and then you get to receiver, and that's the massive gap. Weapons for Ohio State versus Notre Dame, right? Like everywhere else, it's
I think
close.
The entire offense is a massive difference. I mean, quarterback, running backs. I mean, Love is banged up, so I mean, you have Henderson and Judkins against a banged up Love.
I don't know if you can say that. I think Love and Price are.
No,
they're obviously not, but I don't think it's like some sort of massive gap from the other two. And this Notre Dame offensive line, I can't hate on them. I mean,
they've been.
That's what I'm saying. They've been fantastic.
But I mean, receivers on a different planet.
So exactly. So we're saying the same thing. That's my point. Is that everywhere else you could argue that it's pretty close. And maybe Ohio State's better, but it is pretty close. The difference is the weapons. That's what you're most concerned about. Yeah. And it does just kind of feel like maybe a bit of overall speed.
Yeah.
Ohio State bro, how fast do you think TreVeyon Henderson got up to on that 75-yard touchdown?
22.
Old boy was gotta be, right?
Yeah.
Aren't you neighbors with Sports Science Man?
Yeah. Ask him if he had the data.
He could probably eyeball it, dude.
It will show up somewhere. I mean, the thing that hopefully excites me that this is going to be a good matchup is the fact that Notre Dame continues to impress and continues to prove everyone wrong or most people wrong. That they have a chance to win it. Like they're just they're fighters. They know how to make games very tight, turn into a 4-quarter battle. When at that point it just turns into where's the ball kind of bounce in their direction.
Here's an easier way. I agree. This is so exactly right. So it's going to take some sort of like true football team, just like being greater than it looks on paper to win this game. Here's the easy analysis. I want you all to close your eyes and imagine when Ohio State has the ball on offense. You can see how they score. When Notre Dame has the ball on offense, it becomes much tougher to envision what that looks like. It's going to take some dominant blocking.
Yep.
It's going to take Riley Leonard being all-time gamer,
Yep.
falling forward, making plays, making throws when he has to. I mean, it's like every challenge they face up until this point, only more so.
Yeah.
Almost like a
It's the
combination of
best
all
team in
the
the
different
country. It's the
challenges.
best team in
Yeah.
the country. It's the best team in the country. There's not a glaring weakness for Ohio State right now. Even the offensive line's playing better.
Yeah.
Like if there was going to be a weakness in this football team this year, was it going to be the offensive line? They've had their moments, but through the playoffs, they've played
Yeah, they
well.
didn't even give up a sack until tonight. Last Jet
Uh,
at Chicago says the Ohio State's offensive line has to play better than they did tonight. I disagree. I think that's an
mm,
elite Texas defense, man. They did
yes,
very well.
very well.
They did very well. Like if their offensive line, if Ohio State plays like they did tonight against Notre Dame, I think they win again.
I think the only path is Riley has to be accurate. He can't turn the football over, which you trust Will Howard more than you do Riley when it comes to turnovers. But then Riley does have to make a couple mistakes. If that happens, he forced some balls tonight. I want to tell you what, like
Howard.
there was 2 or 3 that were those butt clenching moments from the sideline. Like, what the fuck you doing? It didn't work.
The one
Like,
over the middle
boy.
was really fucking
Well, a
insane.
couple like a deep one on the right side where the corner backed up and could have made a play on it. I think it was Bond almost made a play on it.
Oh
So
yeah, right through his
yeah,
right through his hands.
there's 3 or 4 where like listen, when you're a quarterback and you're feeling it, sometimes things just more times than not they work out for you. But this Notre Dame defense can make a couple of those
Well,
plays.
you gotta rip it, dude. You gotta
I
rip
agree.
it.
I love it, man.
I
UFC
know.
football, I
You
love the
do.
mentality. But
You're
like
a
Notre Dame
gunslinger.
has to love that too, because it's kind of like, hey, if there's a way for us to be in this game, we need Will Howard to be a little bit greedy at time, and we have to take advantage of it, hopefully, and get a couple picks.
What are your thoughts on the playoff as a whole after the past 2 nights? As Justin Clayton. Awesome, man.
Yeah.
This is what we've been wanting to see. The best teams in the country playing in a tournament and having the best emerge. And although I still think the early seeding was obviously wrong,
It's worked.
ultimately it filtered to where it needed to.
Yep.
Like we maybe could have gotten a bit better first round matchups for sure, but it would have filtered out in all likelihood very similarly to who's playing right now. Like I still feel like Notre Dame and Ohio State are playing the best football in the country right now.
Yep.
Like it doesn't feel like there's a team playing better that is not here. They got unlucky in some sort of way to not be in here.
I agree with that one. I agree with that one. And Texas is one of the best teams in the country. Penn State's had a terrific year. I think maybe if the seeding was different, I don't know if Penn State would have made the semis, but hey, you know what?
Yeah, but I mean,
They're so
exactly. But who would have? But Notre Dame still like these are still the
Yes.
2 best playing teams.
100%.
Bottom line,
100%. Like
so
the ideal Final Four would have been Texas, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oregon.
maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's if I was a Penn State fan, I might push back against that, considering that Oregon just got completely run off the field. But
Yeah.
Cowpoke Ranch, $5. The SC myth is exactly that, a myth that was hiding behind the success of Nick Saban. As soon as he's left, so did y'all's credibility. I think, again, we talked about times we're right and wrong on the show last night, but like, I feel a bit validated here because this is what I've been pounding is that the SEC is not as outlier good as it believes itself to be. And you have clearly lost the bowl season now against the Big Ten.
Yep.
What does this make you finish? 1-4 against the Big Ten?
Not good. Yeah. A lot.
I'm pretty sure it's 1-4.
South Carolina lost. Alabama lost to Michigan. Texas now lost to Ohio State. I mean, those are the 3 big ones.
Tennessee lost to Ohio State.
Tennessee lost to Ohio State.
And I think maybe the only win was Mizzou or Iowa.
A&M lost to USC.
A&M lost to USC. 1-4. Is that 1-4 or 1-5? It doesn't matter. You get the point. SC got its ass kicked.
Missouri beat Iowa 27-24.
The only thing I disagree with here from Cowpoke is I don't think it's as much as no doubt Nick Saban in Alabama created a lot of the stats that are like there's been a SEC team in the championship, blah, blah, every year. But the reason why the gap has shrunk is because of the portal and NIL.
Yep.
It is rebalanced recruiting in a way that was before money was involved for whatever reason, before the ability to just transfer was involved, the South was seeming to win more and more of those battles, and now that talent has diffused throughout the entire country
Yep.
once again.